wrestling fans. Welcome to the Area 4, Region 5, Class 4A GHSA tournament here at the Lovett School. I'm here with my colleague and friend, Rocky Kaufman. Rocky, welcome.
Doing our favorite thing over here. We're going to go straight into it as we've already got Christian Bell out there ending the quarterfinals. So you're getting to see the first period of this quarterfinal match. Lovett has already been doing fairly well. I don't think we've lost a match yet, have we?
I don't believe we have, and we are about to enter right after this match the semifinals, which will start at 1:06. We'll keep you up to date.
So all Lovett wrestlers in the semifinals.
We will have two.
Christian Bell obviously needs to win this one.
We have two matches going, so we will always be showing you the Lovett match because that's why you're tuned in. And so we will be pivoting the camera now and then to one of two matches.
Might have a quick pin here. Christian more of a takedown artist than a pinner, but looks like we've got one here.
And that ends the quarterfinal round, and now we're ready to start right into the semifinal round. So welcome, everyone. Glad you're tuning in, if you are, in fact, tuned in.
So I believe we're going to be rolling quickly into the semifinals, and we should have Patrick Smythe leading off for us at 106 pounds.
For those who are wondering how this works, this is the first of a 3-week state tournament. This is the area tournament. The next weekend is a sectional tournament. Following that is the state tournament. So they need to qualify this weekend for next weekend's sectional tournament, and then at the sectional tournament they have to qualify again to go to the state tournament held down in Macon. So we have a match going on. We're going to have two matches going on here. We can only show you one, but Patrick Smythe's on the center mat, which you'll be watching. And on the mat to our left, which you can't see, is Jack Egan.
Getting quick takedown.
And he wrestles at 132 pounds for Lovett.
As in his usual style, getting after it right away. Always aggressive and on the attack.
Unfortunately, the referee is standing right in front of you. I would yell at him to move, but that would be inappropriate. So we'll just have to watch around his big kazoodis.
So let's see, Stockbridge we're wrestling over here at 106 pounds.
Jaden Mateo from Stockbridge. And the match that you cannot see is Jack Egan from Lovett wrestling Mitchell Hall from Woodland Stockbridge.
Championships.
We'll keep you up to date on that one as Patrick Smythe gets takedown.
And this is one that should be, frankly, an easy match for him. Patrick, last rankings I've seen, was ranked second in the state at 106 pounds in 4A. It's an unranked opponent, so hopefully this will be a quick one. So we've got both Lovett wrestlers in the semis, riding tough on top right now, doing good work.
Some of you who might be listening, not sure how this works. We did have a state tournament 2 weekends ago. That was the dual meet state tournament. Only the whole team competes, and you determine the best dual meet team in the state. That was one that Lovett came in second by 1 point, losing to Central Carroll.
It was a tough loss. And I don't say this lightly. People say this sort of thing all the time. I do believe
Jack Egan with the fall on the mat that you cannot see.
I do believe that we were the better team, but we weren't the better team that day. We just had some tough breaks. And again, I think that everything kind of went the right way for East Carroll. They did a great job. They were well coached. Their guys came out very, very hungry. But I think that our crew is now very hungry for the traditional state tournament. And I look forward to seeing what they're going to be able to do in the next couple of weeks.
So when Rocky says traditional, these next 3 weeks, this is where you qualify as an individual. So you could take anywhere from one to your entire wrestler to your entire team to the individual state tournament, where they'll crown champions in each weight class. The GHSA does not recognize a team state champion at the traditional tournament in 2 weekends. However, everybody else does. The coaches, the wrestlers, and the Atlanta Takedown Club awards a team champion. So Lovett still has a chance not only to crown individual weight class champions and for guys to get medals for placing in the top 6, but the team will be acknowledged by everybody except the GHSA as the traditional team champions, just because that's been the one for years in every state around the country. That has always been the way you crowned state champion teams until the dual meet tournament format started, maybe at this point 20 years ago. Patrick Smythe on top. Looks like he's about possibly to get a fall here. Again, this is the semifinal round. The winners in this round go to the finals, which will, I would say immediately following this, but I'm guessing that I'm sure they're going to have a consolation round. They'll have to finish that up before they go to the finals, I'm betting. But we should be somewhere wrestling the finals somewhere around noon, maybe a little before that.
Giving you all the work to do right here. I'm trying to do some technological things behind the scenes. So
excellent. There's a pin for Patrick Smythe. Our next wrestler for Lovett on this same mat will be Alex Hyman at 113 pounds. Alex will be wrestling against Ron Turner from Stockbridge. Patrick is the #1 seed at this weight class. That's Alex is, so is Patrick. Rocky, you bring home this description while I check on something with one of our coaches. I'll be right back.
Got it. So, not sure what the holdup is right here. See the coach from Stockbridge, Coach Maldonado, standing at the table, and there was a forfeit in the semis. Not sure why. We've actually had a good number of those today. It's been kind of an odd day for an area championships. Unfortunate, always fun to watch Alex Hyman wrestle. Would have liked to have seen him in a semis match, but we'll get to see him in the finals, I'm sure. So Huff for Lovett coming out. He has had some injuries this season and not been in the lineup a good bit, kind of in and out. But here today, won his first match in the semis now. Let's see how he can do.
Give you guys a little update on how this works. The top 4 finishers at this area tournament will qualify for the sectional tournament next weekend. At that tournament, they'll bring 4 regions together, areas together. So there'll be a 16-man bracket next weekend. And then you have to place in the top 6 next weekend. Top 6 to go to state, which will be a 12-man bracket down in Macon. So at this point, if you win this and go to the finals, you're guaranteed to go the next weekend. If you lose, you got to win, I believe, one more match to finish 3rd or 4th.
Huff seems to be in a bit of trouble right here. It's like we've got a double bar arm.
Understatement of the day right there.
He's a wily fellow though, and
Matthew Huff is stepping in, hoping to qualify for next weekend. Won his first match.
I didn't want to say hard to pin while he's on his back, because that's the kiss of death, but he is one of those guys that's a little hard to pin.
Wrestling Amadou Diallo from Mount Zion, Jonesboro, who is a senior with a record of 21-4.
Senior with the record. Where are you getting all this information from? Why am I always left out of all that good information?
We try to keep you in the dark so that you don't sound very intelligent on the broadcast.
It's working.
Interesting, they're still wrestling some larger gentlemen over on the other mat. It would seem like we would be on the semis, working our way up from light to heavy.
Yeah, I'm going to assume that that's wrestlebacks, and it's probably wrestlebacks for some of the weight classes that didn't have full brackets. So you get this kind of weird wrestleback round that you get only certain weight classes.
Fair enough, which is why, in fact, we may start the semis.
The smart one now?
Finals. You are. Sooner than 12.
Yeah, it's going to be a quick day today. As much as I love to come see some wrestling, I like to have a full afternoon.
Hey, we got to move this a little bit so they can see the wrestling. There we go.
That's a little off center there, huh?
Uh-huh.
You know.
We could have.
Maybe finals.
So Lovett has hosted a number of meets. This has been a big year for us. We hosted what are the duels that we hosted? I know obviously the state duels finals, but we hosted the area duels.
Yeah, I'm forgetting.
Yeah,
No,
so
we definitely did not do area duels.
That's
I'm
right,
trying to
that's
remember
right.
where
I think it was
sectionals were.
the section.
Did we do sectionals here?
And then the state duels, and then this one. It's been a big year for hosting, which is great. I know Coach Maldonado wants to host a little more next year as well.
So those who plug in and watch some of these live streams and aren't able to come to a lot of these matches, old Lovett wrestlers and parents and grandparents, big shout out to a kid who's kind of a legend in the Lovett school. What's Noah's last name again?
Noah.
Well, that's what's his first name then? How about that? Okay. Well, everyone just calls him Noah. My son calls him Noah. Everyone calls him Noah. But he did an amazing job at the state duels announcing for us. He announced senior night as we walked in today.
Noah Claxton. Had to think about it. Noah Claxton.
Noah Claxton. And he is here today. And apparently he wants a career doing this sort of sports announcing and that sort of thing. That's what I've heard. Is that correct?
I want a career in this kind of thing. So I'm hoping I can parlay this into something bigger. No, Noah's great. You're right. It's fantastic that he wants to.
He does an amazing job.
He does.
If you haven't seen it, you're missing out. But, after having him for the state duels, I think a lot of us were talking about it. Like, we need this for now on. We need this for all home matches and big matches. Just added so much excitement to it, having a great announcer.
Little plug for lacrosse. This spring, I will be likely broadcasting lacrosse with my colleague, friend, coach, and teacher from Lovett, Mr. Brian Overly. So we will be broadcasting. You say, why would I be broadcasting lacrosse? Well, my son played a little lacrosse. And
I was going to ask, why are you broadcasting
lacrosse? I know just enough to be dangerous. Brian will do most of the play-by-play. I will be bringing the color commentary.
So I'm mildly surprised, only mildly, because I know that Lovett tries to have students do a lot of what we're doing right here. It's kind of been determined there just aren't many students. The only students who are really capable of understanding wrestling enough to do this are wrestling. But you'd think that lacrosse is one where maybe they could come up with a couple kids. No?
So it is interesting you say that, because I think with football and some of the other sports, the kids do a great job. I think you're right with wrestling.
And obviously those are the big obvious ones.
Yes.
Everybody, lots of people know the sports of football, baseball. So it's probably very easy to find kids willing and able to do that.
But with wrestling, as you said, I think a lot of kids just don't know enough that a broadcast wouldn't be educational. It'd be hard for them to call the action. For lacrosse, I watched last year a little bit, and they did have some students.
This is one of those matches we're hoping for the defensive pin.
Yeah, so I watched some matches last year, and when the students were doing it, you do realize that they didn't tend to know a lot of what was going on. They may still have some students do some games, but I think Overly and Allen will be calling some others.
We've got John coming in really late with the information I was asking for.
Great. We realize that there are fans walking in front of our camera, and before the finals, we may push this table up a little.
Most likely will.
Have the fans go behind us.
And we kind of threw this together to do the semifinals. The finals is obviously the main reason we're here. So let's go back to our semifinals match right here with Huff. If he loses this one, he will still have a chance to place in the top 4. He will need to win his next match. If he does, he will qualify for sectionals. I'm not, obviously this match isn't over yet. I'd say that if we're going to win it, we're going to need a pin of some sort. And look, well, we got a takedown. He is pretty tough on top. Let's see what he can do. He's got 45 seconds to make something happen. Bottom man doesn't appear to be in a big hurry to do much of anything. And he looks like he's tired. Maybe we can take advantage of a lesser conditioned opponent.
I will say, having coached Matthew in the middle school when he began wrestling, he's
We got a stalling
pretty tough.
call from the referee, but that's not going to get it done. Even a couple more won't get it done. We need a pin, plain and simple.
Matthew's pretty tough with this half.
Yeah, he is.
So,
He needs to take it out right now. Got a fresh start. Take it out. There you go. So he's got 16 seconds. Realistically, we have seen matches get turned that fast plenty of times. It's very unlikely. But, you know, I think at this point you got to start trying to slap a cradle on. Either something along those lines. You need something that's going to work quickly. He's looking for a cradle. There you go. You see it.
yeah, bottom man is smart. He's turtling. you got to just basically make yourself like a brick.
Turtling. Is that like after coffee in the morning? What are we talking about?
Very different kind of turtling. Well, we lost that one. So Matthew will have to win one more match to qualify for next week.
So look, we lost that match. He was a little outgunned there. But what I do like to see, especially from one of our younger athletes who's going to be around next year, is he did not give up. He was down by, 10 dozen points or so, and went after it hard in the third period, gave himself a chance, and that's what you want to see.
'Tis indeed. 126 pounds. Kale Kuski is going to be against Cohen's from Luella.
Luella is probably the second best team here.
You say that, but we did not wrestle them in the area finals as a team, did we?
I believe we did.
Well, then
Or was it at the semifinals?
might have been the semis.
We did wrestle them in the area duels. I don't remember what round.
Yeah. So they're
A lot of people are really struggling to get people reporting to tables here for an area tournament. So Kale Kuski, which we hope to get to watch wrestle, he actually really likes having a warm-up match. Defending state champion. He's a sophomore for Lovett. One of our 2 sophomore defending state champs. To go along with junior state champion Christian Bell. So he may, it's starting to look like a forfeit. I'm hoping it's not.
well, it looks like somebody's getting ready over there.
Yeah?
It does.
Oh. I'm going to suggest if you are sitting there slowly taking off your sweatpants as you've been called for a while, going up against the defending state champ, the chances are not good for you.
I would say the chances aren't good for him anyhow. That just adds to the
Right.
the analysis. Last weekend at the middle school
And
tournament,
his coach is putting on his headgear for him as we speak.
there was at the middle school tournament last weekend, there was a wrestler that got disqualified or forfeited because he didn't show up to the mat in time. I felt bad for the kid.
Which is unfortunate.
I felt bad for the kid because he really did not do anything wrong. It was a mass chaos in the Woodward gym, and the referee was a little zealous in his forfeit.
Oh, yeah, I heard about that one. And we got not quite a takedown, but it's coming soon. And he's got the ankle locked. There we go. We got 2. Is he going to play a couple takedowns with him, or is he just going to try to get the pin and quickly and get a bit out of the way? He's got the barman, roll tilt, bar. Doing a good job elevating the leg. We've now, let's see, let go of that bar. He's basically running. Oh, that's a
got
pin.
him.
Oh, you got to get down there.
Mr. Referee, what are you looking at?
I know it's a tilt,
That's
but it's a pin. Oh, I missed it.
Mr. Referee, what are you looking at?
It's all right. Kale probably wants the extra work. I feel like he's going to end it on this one. A half with a Turk. Yeah, the old bridging off of his shoulders.
There we go. Kale Kuski
So,
in the finals. He is now qualified for the sectional tournament. Congratulations, Kale.
A minute 13 into the first period.
Okay, what do we got coming up here? Looks like we have a non-Lovett match on any mat.
How did that happen?
Let's keep our heads on a swivel here.
I'd assume we're going to have to do some adjusting of the camera.
We may have to. Looks like we're going to have Kennedy up. Jake Kennedy shortly. So we'll stay here on this mat with you for
Jake
a few
Kennedy.
moments.
We should have Jack up before
Jack
Jake,
just
right?
wrestled though. He wrestled on the mat that we were not showing.
That was quarters though, I thought, wasn't it?
But I think he's just going to have a rest.
I see.
All right, so guys, this is an important part of our broadcast. Any rebroadcast, reproduction, or other use of the pictures and accounts of this game broadcast without the express written consent of the athletic director at the Lovett School is strictly prohibited, which means you need to check with Adam Nelson if you want to do anything with this broadcast.
You're starting to sound very professional with that official disclaimer.
Thank you.
It's like you've done it a couple times now.
We've done it a few times together.
Of course, you kind of speak for a living, so I feel like you should be good at it.
Looks like I'm also supposed to say the holidays are fast approaching and the Lovett Campus store is totally stocked. I'm not going to read that. That was from a couple of months ago.
We're going to consider that optional.
Oh, hey, we got something new.
New updates.
Hey, as long as we got the time, we might as well do it. Lovett's True Blue Annual Fund raises over $3 million on an annual basis to support the school's most immediate needs. We rely on the support of our entire Lovett community to meet our fundraising goals and provide every Lovett student with the highest quality education possible. Thank you for being True Blue and opening your checkbook to us.
I'm always amused with who winds up sending me the email for True Blue, because I believe this time, if I recall correctly, it was Russ Richards.
Former Lovett wrestler.
Which I obviously got the most form copy email from, because we had just seen each other that week, and it was one of those emails that, like, this went out to 200 people. But always good to hear from Russ, even with a form copy email.
Yeah. I saw Russ at the state tournament a couple weeks ago here at the state duels.
Russ, I might give more money if you'd made him a little bit more personalized, buddy. Just letting you know that.
I performed Russ's wedding.
Is that right?
Yes, and his brother's.
I'm sorry. I was telling, spoke to Jack Richards recently. He's up in Connecticut. I was harassing him that he needs to get his rear back down here to Atlanta, come for some of these Lovett wrestling matches.
Jackson, Connecticut.
Yeah.
Thought he was still out in California.
Two brothers, both state finalists. Jack twice and a state champ.
Once.
Correct.
Looks like I got another one here, right?
I know Russ Richards was class of 99. I don't remember Jack.
2007, maybe?
It's in that range. Wait, was he that far behind, Russ?
Yeah, I think so. 6 or 7, maybe 6. All right, we got Jake Kennedy coming up here. When we have a break in the action, I'll read the next exciting public service announcement, or at least Lovett service announcement. All right, we have Jake Kennedy at 138 pounds for the Lovett School against Evan Teasley from Hampton.
I thought I remembered this kid being decent.
Well, if 10-6 qualifies you as being decent, then he is.
Oh, man. I see what you're doing there. There's a quick takedown. So there is, interestingly, in this weight class, Jake is ranked 5th in the state, and Luella, who's also at this tournament, is ranked 7th. So we should see a 5 versus 7 in terms of rankings for the finals, in theory. Jake made quick work of that one, totally blowing my theory.
Good win for Jake. He is now in the finals at 138 pounds, where he will be wrestling Sean Goldsby from Luella. And actually, you're right, he looks like he's got a solid record. Now
what was his record?
24-4.
Okay.
Now we are wrestling at 100 and, excuse me, Ian Horan at 144 pounds is wrestling against Stephen Ramos from Mount Zion, Jonesboro, in the semifinals. Again, winner qualifies immediately for the sectional next weekend. Loser has to win one more match in the consolation bracket to qualify.
So this is one of those rounds that's just a great one to win. So you've got to be top 4 to get to sectionals. You're in the semifinals. If you lose this round, you have to win one to qualify. You win this round, you're automatically, obviously, in the finals and obviously qualifying for sectionals. Obviously, get to the finals, you want to win it, but a little bit of that stress is off. At least you know you've got another week. Even if you have a bad match, you might be able to redeem it. So this is a big round.
Let me just say that if you've ever been in the semifinals of anything, it's always a great one to win, because you are done, you wait for the finals, and if you lose, if it's a kind of tournament where you have to wrestle your way back or fight your way back, you have your work cut out for you. So this is semifinals. Are, yes,
the round. And I would say that those in the wrestling community know that a lot of big tournaments, whether state tournaments, even NCAAs, a lot of them are really won and lost in the semifinals because the team points are huge.
And there's so much on the line that, like in the NCAA semis, that's the round to watch. That's the Friday night. That's the exciting round, because you know the guy that loses has to fight his claws way back. And the guy that's done is in the finals and can breathe easy until that match tomorrow, the next day. So Ian's up and out, 2-1.
What school was this again we're wrestling? You said it.
Mount Zion,
Mount Zion, yeah, okay. Throw attempt didn't work for Mount Zion. Put us in good position. Can we score off of it? And that's 2 points. There we go. Nice job. Way to capitalize on their mistake. It would really be nice to not let come on. Take it back down. Drive. You got to drive through there. Know where you are. He's got him locked up still. Take him back to the mat. Use that lock. You want to come on, fold in that back, take him back to the mat, and he's on his back. There we go.
Out.
So he did not give up the escape there. Really hard fought. Good job. So if you saw it, they were back up on their feet because he had his arms still locked around his opponent. It is not an escape for exactly what the reason that happened there. He was able to bring him back to the mat. So you wouldn't want to give a guy an escape, and he would give up an easy takedown in that situation. So a hard-fought 3-2 lead coming into the second.
It's one of those situations where you kind of wanted the clock to run out, so he didn't give him an escape. And then, as it turned out, had we had more time, I think he would have scored some serious back points.
As much as it's fun, as a Lovett homer, to watch a guy like Cale Kuski go out there and dominate a guy in a minute, these are the kind of matches where it's just a lot more fun to watch. Now look at this. We're getting backs. He needs to get his hips back. He's too far over. He needs to his weight back. Nicely done. He needs to stay perpendicular, though. I don't like how he's starting to step over. I don't like that at all. Like, you stay perpendicular when you got a guy on their back. With the rare exception, you're trying to throw both legs in. And to me, unless you're already kind of parallel, you don't try to force it.
I think what he did was amazing. And I got to give him a lot of credit for that.
You're saying he was exactly perfect, and it's a good thing he wasn't listening to me.
Good thing he wasn't listening to the broadcaster. All right, Ian, big win. That was the first-seeded kid from Mount Zion, so Ian is now in the finals. And
that
Ian
is a huge match for him then.
Has qualified for next weekend.
And if you watch the first takedown, that is not the way you expected that match to go.
Not at all. Now we have
all love it after that first takedown.
Nick Moffitt, our senior state finalist from last year.
He was ranked second at 144 pounds.
It's kind of funny he went up to 150. I wonder if they just had to do a lot of figuring about.
Well, there's a lot of they did not have a lot of information on the Lovett lineup, and there were some things that we did, like in the upper weights, where we had guys who they could drop a weight and even looked like they were on a descent. But we kind of filled in the holes as was best for the team.
You don't often see guys go up a weight class, and yet in this situation, knowing what's out there and knowing Nick's potential, he wants to win a state championship, and sometimes a guy will go to a different weight class, depending on who is in the other weight class. Maybe someone they can't beat. And
Are you saying they run?
well, yeah. Sometimes in wrestling, you make the best decision you can. If you have your goals to win a state championship, I've seen guys do it all over the country, not just in Georgia wrestling. I've seen it in other states that I've coached in, where a guy said, "This guy is a different level. I can't beat him. I can go to the next weight class, and I stand a better chance of winning." I'm not sure if that's what they did here. I'll need to talk to Coach Bob.
I will tell you, as will my son, and won't hold it back for a second, that Bear Kaufman ran. There's a wrestler, Landon Moss,
Walnut Grove,
at 190 pounds from Walnut Grove, two-time defending state champ. He was actually a 7A state champ as a sophomore. Moved schools, and one of the more surefire guys to repeat in 4A this year. And Bear didn't want any of that, so he'll be wrestling 215.
And we had the ability to move him because we didn't have someone he was bumping out. Christian
true.
Bell
That was
moved
also
up to
a big part.
heavyweight as well.
We did not have a heavyweight, and we had an opportunity with Christian Bell, defending state champ, 215 pounds, who's a monster. He was number one ranked at 215, but he, to help the team, moved up to heavyweight. And frankly, I think he has a very good chance of winning at heavyweight as well.
I agree.
So 8-0 going into the second period. 8 points in one period is substantial, especially without giving up any escapes.
He's wrestling Dylan Hirakawa from Pace Academy.
But I mean, this is how we expected this match to go. Not that this Pace kid's a bad wrestler, but again, Moffett is a defending state finalist. We expect him to win the vast majority of the matches he's in. It's typically going to be a well-known foe to be able to take in.
That it is.
I would like to see a little more action here. I'd like to see him fire off some shots, get a takedown, run up that score some more. Either a fireman's attempt or a high crotch attempt. Looked like a little bit in between.
The old high crotch.
That was a little awkward. I don't know where you're going with that.
Well, it's just a little bit of an inside joke with some of my coaching friends that don't know wrestling. And when anybody mentions that there's a move called a high crotch, they all sort of give
you that look.
They give you a
quizzical
look. Yes.
There's a lot of moves like that where they kind of look at you like they don't know if you're joking or not.
So that joke going around is always, hey, when are you going to show me the high crotch?
Ooh, that was close. And here's a half. That's going to be it.
That's it.
He's a little rough on the back of that guy's head. I think the referee was watching him pretty closely there. I think he was right within the boundaries of the rules. The guy was holding on to his wrist. He's trying to shake it loose, but he gave him a little beating, and I can see it. The referee talked to him. You can see it. He was probably telling him, hey, you were right on the line there.
Now we have Fisher French, or I like to call him Fisher Francais, from Lovett, who is going to be wrestling Cameron Trimble from Luella.
His mother was one of our mat managers back in the day.
Cameron Trimble's? Fisher French's.
Yes.
Fisher, this has been a great experience for him. He's a freshman. He's gotten a lot of experience wrestling varsity the last couple weeks, and expecting great things from him
And you know what?
moving
We're going to
forward.
need upper weights. We've got a lot of upper weights we're getting ready that are going to be moving on. And he is a freshman. We don't, he's taken some lumps. He's also won a good number of matches. But he's a guy who I frankly think is going to get a lot bigger. And I see him filling out those top few weights in the future for us. So, a guy who started wrestling in 7th grade, I believe. Is that correct?
He did.
6th or 7th?
No, 7th, I believe.
It wasn't one of these youth wrestlers. This year, really starting to catch on more. He's a guy I expect to see on the podium at state, if not next year, year after. Obviously, would really like to see it this year.
That would be nice. I was watching the Penn State Ohio State match last night, and they were doing a story on Carter Starachi from Penn State, and he expected to walk away with the championship.
He's not giving it. Oh, this is going to be tough.
His freshman year in high school, and he took 8th, and that motivated him after that to do a lot of extra work. I just thought it was a great story.
He's supposed to be a great kid. He's actually spent a lot of time talking to and working with some of our Lovett kids.
Carter Starachi.
Correct. With the camp that we do a Penn State camp. Everybody says that he is a great guy. So hopefully if you wind up watching the NCAAs, that's a guy you should be cheering for. So we're down by 2 here, but I'll tell you what, I've seen him come back multiple times this season. If we can just keep the score close, wear this kid down, hopefully in the 3rd. That's really close to it. That's locked hands, pretty blatant. Free move. He needs to be hitting anything and everything. You cannot get pinned. You can't give up points. Once the referee signals locked hands, you have an opportunity to try to escape or reverse or throw whatever you want to do. And you cannot give up any points because it's a penalty against the other wrestler. So a lot of times you hear coaches yelling free move.
It's a judgment call, but I thought the referee stopped it. He was started to come out of that. It's a little judgment call when he stops it.
That's close to a locked hands again.
Yeah, I thought he could have let it go a little bit.
I would not be surprised if we see another one. Yep.
He's standing up now, though. So.
Yeah, hip heist hard. Hip heist hard. It's close. Couldn't quite pull it off. So we get to the second period down by only 1 point instead of 2. I assume we're going to take, obviously it's going to be based on what happens this period, but I would assume that we're going to try to take bottom in the 3rd period. We're in a good position. They've already got locked hands. This kid has a hard time holding us down without locking his hands, it appears. So if we can keep this within 1 point in this period, I think we've got a really good chance here. There's that blast double again. We need to keep those shoelaces down.
Got to get that leg and hit the roll.
It's not enough hip pressure. Yeah, it's funny because with all of the rolling that is common in modern wrestling, I'm a big believer still in just good hip pressure when they shoot on you. Stuff the head. Put all your weight
there's a
right
reason,
down on their head and shoulders.
There's a reason the old traditional standbys are continued to be taught because they work. But I do kind of like that roll sometimes, that funk roll.
I just think that people have gotten too reliant on it. Hey, if you're good at it, you've seen guys that it's almost impossible. Oh, look at that. Look at that.
This old dump.
Yeah.
Fireman.
I saw him trying to work that in the first period. It didn't work for him, obviously. But you saw him try. I didn't really realize that's part of his arsenal, but it's nice to see.
Should be a part of everybody's arsenal.
Indeed. So arguably bottom man stalling. I think the referee's watching him. I think that we're probably a little too much on his hips to get the call. We need to be going side to side, being a little bit more active on top. So the referee feels compelled to call that bottom man who's laying flat on their belly. And I feel like this is a guy that in the 3rd period might be, he's got the bar arm. Could Can we get the far wrist where he's worked his way to the edge of the out of bounds? I'd jump side to see if I can run him back in.
Yeah, if he runs it now, he's
Yeah.
going to take him right out of bounds.
Yeah.
There you go.
Look at that. You got to do it again. You got to bring him back in bounds if you're going to have a chance. And you can tell this wrestler knows right where he is. He's trying to use the out of bounds to his advantage.
10 seconds in the period. Lovett will have choice in the third period. We deferred in the second period.
Run it. Get out to the side. He's got that half in, so he's got a bar and a half. If he gets out, now he's he was in a good position there, wasn't he?
Too bad. Time ran out, but
So he's going to take bottom. If they're smart, they're probably they're not looking to do it. I would probably cut him personally, especially since they've been called for locked hands already. They're down by 1 point. It's the third period. I'm looking for a switch. Watch a bulldog. So he jumped out in front, looking to jack up our elbow, try to run him straight to his back, which got a takedown earlier. Almost got us to our back.
There you go.
Okay, so 1 point, escape. We're up by 2.
4-2, Lovett.
So if we give up a takedown, we're still in a good position. We'd be tied and have the ability to.
Didn't keep that pressure.
Okay.
4-4.
That's a locked hands. Free move. I don't even want the escape right now, if I'm being honest. I'm going to. Okay, so we got 1 point escape plus 1 point for the locked hands. So we're back to being up by 2. We're still wrestling, and they don't seem to know it.
I guess he stopped it because they both stopped. Sometimes ref will do that. Even though they shouldn't have stopped, they both stopped. Okay, get off your belly.
Got to get off your belly there.
6-4, Lovett. That's a good.
I like that he went hard after it, but you got to stay in better position than that. You got to keep your hips under you.
I agree.
He's changed off to a single, and he's circling. Oh, we might get 2. Or fleeing the mat. Take it out. Let him drag you out. Okay, now we're up by 4. Can we ride him tough here? I want to go right back to that bar series he was in.
8-4. Fisher.
You got to stop that first move here. Another comp. There you go. You want to try to break him off his base, get him back to his belly, where you can start running halves, running bar arms. There he is. As long as, I want to ride carefully here. As long as we're not giving up a big move, we're in a great position.
Yep.
So this would be a great win for him. Again, you go to the finals, you automatically qualify. He's a freshman, and we got a deep bar in, and we've got a tired opponent on bottom. He might get this.
He's about to go, and he goes, and he's got to walk it back. No, he didn't walk it back.
Settle back. Now, can he get the pin? Not that he needs it at this point. We don't need the pin. We just need to hold him. But it'd be nice to see. Done.
It's a good win.
It is a great win.
So that was a good win for Fisher. He is now in the finals of the area tournament.
Legend Officer Tom walking by.
He's going to get us some waters.
I love it, staple.
Should ask if he can get us some Chick-fil-A, too.
Everybody knows Officer Tom.
Yes, they do.
And he is one of Lovett's biggest athletic supporters. Speaking of awkward sounding.
Did you just call him an athletic supporter?
Let me rephrase that.
I'm not sure anybody knows that phrase anymore anyhow, except a bunch of old people.
Who do you think's listening to us?
My mother. And
there you go.
That's about it. Chris Mance, Lovett's 10th grade returning state champ.
This will not be a long match.
In the semifinals.
You heard me say it.
Against Trenton Dumas. Pronounced Dumas. As opposed to the way it's written. From Stockbridge.
So, as I mentioned earlier, Mance here, sophomore, but a defending state champion. And he is just good mix of speed, strength, technique. It's kind of a whole package. Thank you, Officer Tom.
Thank you, Officer Tom. Appreciate it. I guess I meant 2 total waters. we got all kinds of extras. All right. Chris is a machine, very workmanlike. He just goes out and gets it done. I'm surprised it's lasted this long.
And he's a guy who could have gone down a weight. By the way, it wasn't what was best for the team, and he feels like I'd say his coaches feel like he has a good chance of winning state without dropping down another weight. So we have had the good fortune to have a couple really tough guys that we feel have strong chances to be top of podium in multiple weight classes, so we can put them where it's best for the team and fill in those other spots the best way possible.
Well said. This match is at 13-5.
I feel like you got any other announcements?
I do.
It's just-
I do.
it's not-
This might be the right
I
spot
don't,
for it.
I don't have much to say about this match.
I think it's going to end in the second period by technical fall unless he pins him right here.
He's got minimal time, but he is flat. Really close.
Score is 18-5. Which
It's funny
means
if you
we
see the
will.
Mance boys, his younger brother Xavier, a stud on our middle school team. And these two brothers couldn't be less alike. Chris here, very workmanlike, very serious face when he's out there. He's all business. Xavier, he is. You never see that kid without a smile on his face. Sometimes in the middle of a hard match.
It's true. He is.
That's gonna be a pin.
Yep. There it is.
And there it is.
All right.
Do you think he was looking to create that move specifically?
I do.
It kind of looked like he was setting that up.
Thomas Robinson for Lovett at the 175-pound weight class. He is going against Will Moore from PAC. That would be Pace Academy.
I don't know if I've ever heard it referred to as PAC before. You confused me for a moment.
Yeah, that's my goal, to confuse
Is
you.
that a thing, or did you just make that up on the fly?
It's right there, PAC. It's on the bracket.
Yes, it's the initials. Okay, we'll go with it.
Thomas has been a great. Oh,
Oh, look at this
there goes that
funkiness.
roll. Great surprise this year. He's really wrestled well.
And that was a good example. He looked beat, didn't he? That is not what I wanted to see.
Yeah, but
What
he's sneaky.
in the world?
He's sneaky.
Drive through him. Not that way. You want to go the other way? Oh.
This has not started out a way that we would want it to.
And I gotta say, it's not what you're coaching. There's a headlock. I don't know if I've ever seen him throw a headlock before, have you? But he does that. He can get into some situations where you're just like, it's not good fundamentals, being frank. But at the same time, he can come out of nowhere and throw big moves at you, and he kind of has done a lot of that this season. You can see him wind up on his back. The next thing you know, the other guy's getting pinned. And it's made for some maybe overly exciting matches here and there.
That would be a textbook match watch where you'd go, I'm not sure there's anything I would say you should have done, and yet he ends up with a nice headlock and a pin.
Right. He just really seems to do that a lot. He's just one of those guys. Not that we always talked about in years past, Al Coy in particular. Al Coy could be put in bad positions. Now, he rarely was unless it was a really good wrestler. But Al Coy could be in some really bad, tough positions. And, man, out of nowhere, he'd put you on your back. It literally began an expression, getting coyed. You think you're winning, you think you've got them, and the next thing you know, you're getting pinned.
I do recall this matchup at the area duels between Kieran and Nehemiah Grigsby from Luella. And I remember thinking, Kieran can beat this guy, but this guy's solid.
He's ranked number 9 in the state at 190 pounds from Luella. Grigsby, is that how that is? I'm going to go with it. Grigsby. Nehemiah?
Nehemiah. It's a biblical word, biblical name.
Well, I guess you should know how to pronounce it for me then.
Nehemiah.
So what's the story of Nehemiah? Can
Well,
honestly say I have no idea who Nehemiah is.
Really? Rocky, if you got a half hour, I'll tell you the story. Nehemiah
Can you
helped.
give me
He helped.
the 60-second version?
He was part of the exiled Jews in Babylon, and he returned with them to help rebuild the walls of the city of Jerusalem.
I feel like you're looking at me like I should know this one.
Well, you should, given your heritage. That being said, yes, Nehemiah helped rebuild the walls of the city of Jerusalem.
So both of us share one of our favorite places on earth.
Yerushalayim.
We have been in Israel together.
And I'm going back in a month.
I know that my son loved the Israel trip that you do every year with the Love It students.
Mm-hmm.
It's every other year, right? You do
It's
one
every
year with students and 1 year with.
No, now it's every year
That's
with
changed.
students and every year with adults. The trip I'm leading in March is
Oh, you're doing
adult,
2 trips now.
adults only. Yes, now I'm going twice a year.
Good for you.
If I had my way, I'd go back even more.
I'm sure your wife is thrilled to have you gone for 20 days every summer.
Actually, she's going on one of the trips with me.
Ah. It's a nice shot by Nehemiah.
Well pronounced.
Thank you. Oh, he should have stayed with the whizzer that he had.
Assistant coach Clay Metzger is yelling, "Whizzer, whizzer, whizzer," and he's
A little
going
too
for
late
that.
now. It's gonna be hard to come back to a whizzer at this point. At this point, you try to throw it, stick your hips in, and go for it. Actually, for being truthful here, I'm walking my way out of bounds. You do that, I'm not going out of bounds, but I'm going out of bounds kind of walk, so it doesn't look like you're fleeing.
I'm going out of bounds, but I'm not going out of bounds. Yes.
I'm not doing this intentionally.
Yes.
I promise.
The unintentional, intentional stall.
Correct. So, we've had this happen. Oh, he set him up. That's nice. This Luella kid was tapping on the head. He was doing some level changes and had us kind of standing up straight, caught us off guard. Did a nice job. We've got 35 seconds, down by 4 in the second. Oh, no, we're down by 7 in the second.
I like this Grigsby guy. I mean, I like Kieran, but he's a tough wrestler.
Yeah. He's going out there. He's doing good stuff. Looks like he's, a real wrestler.
It's because he is.
Let's be honest. We've seen a couple not so real wrestlers out here.
That's true.
Some guys who they may be wearing a singlet. Or as my buddy Lee Dendy used to say, walking forfeits.
Walking forfeit.
Walking forfeits.
Yes. Getting excited for the next match, which will be one Aiden Kaufman from the Levitt School. Rocky might want to take his usual hospitality room break.
We'll see.
Perhaps not.
Oh, we got a chance to score a couple points here. He's doing everything he can to. Oh, don't go back to the mat. Oh, you got to stay on your feet. You get the leg up in the air. I don't like to go down to your knees. If I got my legs in the air, I'm going to keep trying to kick out his, trip his, do whatever I can, but not going to give him the benefit of taking that leg back down to the mat.
8-0. A minute and 20 to go in period 3. Period 3? I missed a period somewhere.
We were yapping our way through it.
I guess that's what it was.
MZJ. Which school is that again?
Mount Zion Jonesboro.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
You know, they duck, but they duck right into our camera. We're going to have to move this up before the finals, as we've said. We look forward to that moment.
I probably am going to take a break for this next match.
Yeah. Water's not doing us any favors.
Indeed.
30 seconds.
Or the coffee.
Or the coffee.
Doesn't look like we're in a good spot here with 25 seconds down by 10. So we're going to need him to win his next match and qualify for sectionals. I'm going to leave you here, the capable hands and voice of Steve Allen, for a bit.
All right, Coach Kaufman, we will see you in a bit. All right, the 215-pound matchup is going to be one Aiden Kaufman from the Levitt School against Roman Pfizer from Mount Zion Jonesboro in the semifinal round. Coach Kaufman has taken a break to go cheer his kid on. You don't want him on the microphone when his kid's wrestling anyhow, because he just says a lot of incoherent things. A lot of grunting, groaning, pushing, pulling, screaming. Aiden is a senior, looking to go to an academy next year, military academy. He's got his applications in, and he's hopeful to find out some good news. Aiden's had a good year. He's 26-4, senior. He looks much larger than his opponent. Aiden's bread and butter is a bit of a circle and snap. You won't see him shoot much, and you won't see a lot of guys at 215 shoot much, go under their opponents, because there's usually a lot of beef, a lot of girth out there that lands on you if you shoot. You'll see if his opponent shoots. We'll see what happens. Trying to dig those double underhooks so he can get around behind, as he just did. Takes him to the mat. If the guy puts his hands on the mat, they walked out of bounds. He's calling. Referee's calling the opponent for fleeing the mat, which I guess, if you intentionally step out and the guy's behind you, some refs will call that, some won't. It's probably the right call. So it's 1-0 Kaufman. So a lot of this, there you go. See, he shot. Aiden sprawls. He's got a lot of girth, and he's able to score. That's why these guys don't shoot a lot. He's got the crossface, running the barbed wire. And but he couldn't get the back points, so he's up 3-0. 10 seconds to go in the period. It's right where he wants to be. winning the match 3-0 going into the second period. So they defer to Aiden. Aiden's going to choose top. Coach Kip looked like he maybe wanted them to choose neutral, but he decided to choose top where he can wear him down from the top position, maybe break him, break his will and take him to his back. So at this point, Aiden's kind of going to maul him on top for a while. Hopefully not give up an escape. After this, I believe, keep you posted here on this next match or whether we're going to the finals. We may take a little break. We'll check on whether there's any kind of a break before the finals. I think they'll have some consolation round matches. They'll have to. We should have a match. Yeah, Christian Bell at heavyweight will be coming up following this match. So at this point, you know, the bottom man is really had his shot to get out. He's been unable to move. Aiden's riding him tough. The referee's just warned the bottom man for stalling because you got to make some attempts to get to your knees. And until that moment right there, it didn't look like he was. .45 seconds to go. Aiden also has to move side to side because you can't ride parallel. So we'll see if the ref. Yeah, now so. No, he hit the bottom man again for stalling. So that's a point for Kaufman. He's up 4-0.
Get out to the side. Oh,
that's what I was saying. He's got to get out to the side a little more.
He's taking way too much time to get out to the side. He's going there, but he moves like a 215-pounder.
Which means slowly and slothfully.
Yes.
There.
See again. He's got to get out to the side. He's just not doing it.
Well, he rode him tough for the entire period. Picked up a point in the process.
This needs to be a pin. They're taking top, which is what they should do.
Yep. Yeah, because he didn't get away and he didn't get a takedown. So this is his. As a coach, this is your sort of last option. You don't want to spend the whole period on the bottom. So they're hoping maybe something can happen to the good for them. There you go.
Come on. Get him there. Gotta get under that arm. He's not under the arm, so yeah.
2-point reversal.
Just a basic power half here would work well because he's on his belly. Oh, I'm trying.
Yeah.
There's a reason I usually don't take these matches because I have a hard time not being Coach Dad while mic'd up.
Yeah, it's not always the best thing. I can say from experience.
Got a minute left, up by 6. This is, we keep just giving up on one thing after another. You got to just stick with something and keep running it.
So on the other mat, just to alert our watchers and interested observers, if there are any, Matthew Huff is wrestling, and this is his wrestleback match. He needs to win this match because he lost in the semis, and so if he wins this match, he qualifies for next weekend. You will not be seeing that match, but Matthew Huff, if he wins, will qualify for next weekend, which would be great for him. So he's about to step on the mat at 120 pounds.
So we may not be working hard to get the pin, but this kid may wind up giving up a default by stall.
He did.
That's it. Ended the match. He has a way of making people stall, doesn't he?
The referee or Aiden?
Aiden.
Yeah. Rocky gets a big win there. All right, Aiden. He defaulted the kid out. If you give up too many stall calls, after a while they just say match is over. It's called a default.
It wasn't exactly the most exciting of matches.
Are they ever? All right, Christian Bell. This is the final match of the semifinal round.
And the irony is our 215-pounder wrestles like a heavyweight. Our heavyweight wrestles like a lightweight.
He wrestles like a lightweight, yes.
So,
and by the way, his opponent, interestingly enough, is Roland Foster from Pace, and he's good. They met in the finals of the Prep Slam.
Which is a big deal.
It is a big deal. So these guys are meeting in the semifinals of the area tournament. Are the two guys that wrestled in the finals of the Prep Slam.
Now you say that, but he is not ranked. Now I'm mildly surprised by that.
He's 34-8.
Yeah. I do think as good as the Prep Slam typically is, that was a weak weight class there. I think Christian Bell was pretty pumped to see who his opponent was for our finals of that kind of a tournament.
Yes. With all due respect to the Foster family.
I believe that this kid's a decent football player from what I've heard. Can't say that I actually know, but I heard that secondhand somewhere. So this is actually a little slower paced than Christian's matches usually are. Usually he's take him down, let him up, run up some points. I don't know what just happened.
Christian, something happened yet? He doesn't look happy over there.
I can't tell what it is. Groin, maybe?
I will tell you.
It had that weird look where the trainer walked over, they talked for a second, and the trainer just walked away like, yep, nothing I can do about that.
I would tell you the finals at this weight class, if Christian does indeed win this match, he will be going against someone who gave him one of his two losses on the season. So you'll want to stay around.
In a match he was dominating.
Matthew Huff won over there, so he is now qualified for next weekend, which is great.
So, yeah, the Christian Bell loss, his only loss in Georgia this year. He was dominating the match. And, again, he's a very light heavyweight. He's actually put his opponent on his back. He's a big athletic kid, managed to bridge, unlike a lot of heavyweights do, and roll him, and gave up a pin. But we're very much looking forward to him having a chance of redemption on that.
I think he'll wrestle a different match. He tried to go, it's kind of a roll-through type of deal, and the guy landed right on him.
Yep. To his back, hopefully here. I'd like for him, whatever he's dealing with, I'd like for him to get a quick pin and take some time to deal with it.
Christian hasn't been much of a pinner.
Right, and you can see why right now. He needs to drop his hips right now instead of having them high in the air like he's got.
Some of it's just he doesn't have the girth and the weight on him against to keep the guys he's going against there. He's a light heavyweight.
Yeah.
Should have pinned him there.
Yeah. I mean, especially kind of like with the opponent we were talking about that he could meet in the finals.
That's
maybe not.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, man.
That's what he did to Christian.
We're sitting here watching the other semifinals. The guy we were talking about was just on his back, and it looked like he was about to get pinned, and the next thing you know, he rolled his opponent to his back, and he gets the pin, just like he had done to Christian. So this might be his most dangerous position is from his back.
He's a back technician,
as they like to say.
His most dangerous position is when you have him on his back.
I doubt the coaches saw that. We probably should put a bug in the air. Hey,
Don't put him on his back?
Yeah, pretty much.
What are you going to say?
I'm going to ride him loose if he's there, I'll tell you that.
Don't put him on his back if you can help it.
I mean, it would not be a terrible strategy. He was playing takedowns, takedown at will with them. Red gets choice. Going into the second period, they're choosing top. That is what I would do if I was them. They're down 7-1. They might get one if they're on bottom, but that's not going to get you far. Their only chance against Christian is to get a pin, but that seems very unlikely. And he's out with 1 point escape. And quick duck to a single and another takedown. Called them out of bounds. We're probably going to, if you see that, if you haven't seen it before, that's an optional start. So in other words, you have the option to stand them back up, give them a free escape, or you can start with your hands, shape of a diamond on their back. Sometimes people use it like you just did, where you're giving them the point, but you're going to make them get off the mat and do it that way. Sometimes you see people use it for an attack. They may jump on the head with a bulldog, various other types of series.
He's tough with that.
These heavyweights just don't know what to do with that kind of speed. And he's using that turtle technique you talked about.
That is a technique. Ball up, don't let him turn you.
By the way, that is an actual terminology used as a real technique in jiu-jitsu.
Yeah?
Yes.
Given that I haven't done much jiu-jitsu in my day, I can say I did not know that. There you go, Christian. Now he might actually finish him here.
Might. Again, like as good as he is on his feet, you don't see him in great position in these pinning combinations. That's an area he could improve. Just where his hips are, trying to get chest to chest. Doesn't quite have the body position to maximize the chances of getting the fall there.
He should have kept him there on that one. (15-2), Christian Bell. Period 2. 10 seconds to go in the period.
We've got Noah out here
bopping,
working, not just announcing.
He's an excellent bopper.
You got to love a team player, guys willing to go out and help out however possible.
If he doesn't end up with a career in broadcasting, I think he has a career in bopping.
In the old days, I feel like the girls used to swing those boppers as hard as they could just to see how much of a whack they can.
They could make the referee angry. I've seen a couple refs turn around with fire in their eyes.
I've definitely seen it.
Oh, man. Not happy.
He really sets that up so well, doesn't he? To his back again. He needs to drop his hips. Again, you see his knee on the mat. His knee shouldn't be on the mat. He should be on his toes, chest down, hard.
Hey.
But pin, we're done. We're on to the finals.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to slide our table up so that people have to walk behind us for the finals, and you don't have to watch people's bodies. So we're going to take a little break. We may just leave the camera on.
I would assume we're just going to leave everything on, right?
But so you will see lots of if you get seasick easily, you might want to look away.
Do we know? Are they rolling right into the finals? Do we know?
I will go find out.
Yeah, let's find that out.
Ladies and gentlemen, I will be back. Rocky may stay with you, but don't go away.
Yes. So for those of you who are still listening out there and maybe watching some matches, this is the last wrestleback round before we'll have the finals. I believe that we're going to have the finals on 3 mats. So obviously in the middle, first and second, to one of the mats to the side, third and fourth, and then fifth and sixth on the other mat. You might ask why you would run fifth and sixth place an area when only 4 qualify for sectionals, but you regularly see someone gets hurt, some various things happen where you wind up having an alternate, so that 5th place does come into effect sometimes. But the estimated start time for the finals, which is where you'll see most of the Lovett wrestlers, is 12 o'clock. That said, there are a couple of Lovett wrestlers who are in this round. I will probably keep it muted, but try to turn the camera over and find them when they are coming up and run those live. But again, for those waiting for the finals, estimated start time of 12 o'clock.
Welcome to Africa.
We are live.
All right, welcome back, Lubbock fans. We're at the GHSA 4A Region 5 Finals. And Lubbock has 12 of the 14 finalists. We have 2 matches where guys will be going for 3rd and 4th. So that means all 14 of our wrestlers have qualified for the finals, or for next weekend's sectional tournament. Right now, we have for Lubbock, Patrick Smythe at 106 pounds versus
Ranked
Beckett,
number 2 in the state, Patrick Smythe.
versus Beckett Allegra from Pace Academy. Beckett Allegra's father, Patrick Allegra, used to be a teacher at Lubbock a number of years ago.
He is ranked number 11 in the state, I believe. Yes,
Where's Patrick rated?
second. I just said that.
Did you say that? I wasn't
did say it.
listening. I don't listen.
You never listen to me.
No.
Quick, look at it. Quick takedown and cradle. He's going after it hard. Look at that.
Got
Can
Not
we
in a
we
great
got the 2.
position.
Can we get him on his back? You want to keep heavy on the head, as they say. No, he's giving up on that. He's going to take control. You get in that cradle position, you got to try to bring that leg in the air, and you want to bring the head down. Getting quickly to a 2-on-1. Looking to stuff the head, and he's got it. Can he keep it? He's pinned. He was pinned. It's while I do think that's a pin, I give a break sometimes. It's hard for a referee to get in position sometimes that quickly. He was running over there. By the time he got there, it wasn't there anymore. This feels like a match that's not going to last that long, doesn't it?
It does indeed. Got a few more back points.
That bridge is going to wear down. And he's transitioning, catching the head. He's got other cameras on it.
All right. That's all right. Nobody wants to see us.
Indeed.
All right, so we've got our camera man extraordinaire, John Jerkitis.
8-0 so far. Out of bounds, going to reset. 27 seconds in the first period. Match easily in hand.
We just had a nice lunch break, and we're back here in the finals, so hopefully...
Should we give Karen a hard time? Does she know that we're actually videoing this match for her so she doesn't have to do it with her phone?
You know what? She'd probably have this posted up from her own camera to Facebook before the next match begins.
Well, there is that. What is Christian Bell wearing?
Oh, it's one of those snuggy, huggy blankets.
It's a snuggy, huggy kind of a guy.
He actually is. They're choosing top because he did not do very well from the bottom.
We do actually have a surprisingly nice team.
Doesn't usually bode well for a wrestling team.
It really doesn't.
If you got a bunch of nice guys.
The mean and nasties usually kick some butt, but yeah, he went straight to nice little standing Peterson. I mean, it's either this match is gonna end in tech or pin. And we're on our back again. Let's see. He really wants the pin. You know, I mean, he'll accept the tech, but he wants to be able to say pinned in the finals area.
You think he wants to be able to say that?
I do. I absolutely do.
I'm sure he'll be telling all his friends. I pinned in the area finals.
It'll probably go more like that than you know.
13-0, 2 more points, and it's a technical fall, which is 15 points, and then they stop the match.
So, I mean, look, you're talking about a 2-ranked kid versus, 11-ranked kid. So you expect it to be somewhat dominant, but this is a true whooping. And that's a tech fall. And he's nodding his head in disapproval for the lack of finishing with a pin. But a tech fall in the middle of the second period is definitely domination. So again, he's a freshman this year.
All right, now we have
Fan favorite, if you can hear them. Alex Hyman, senior,
13 pounds.
two-time state finalist. He is currently ranked number 1 at 113 pounds. And Pace Academy, Benjamin Gans ranked number 5. And he's a tough kid. He's got. I didn't expect he was going to finish that takedown. He did a good job getting in on it, but when you get to this level, getting the leg isn't getting the takedown. It's step 1. Some hand fighting going on.
I think young Mr. Gans has been doing some extra wrestling over at Pace. They do have some wrestlers that wrestle more than just in season.
He's actually a good kid, good family.
Most likely
I think he's
outgunned.
Yeah, I think he's. So there's actually a pretty considerable size difference looking at these two, along with other holes.
Oh, listen,
Gans is a sophomore, so he's got plenty of time left to do good things.
when you're a senior wrestling at 106 or 113, you're usually significantly, your body, it's just more mature. Even though you may weigh the same as your opponent, it's a different kind of weight. Alex, physically, is just, more body mass, whatever, but you can often tell the difference physically between a senior who's down at that weight.
Getting
and
closer to
sophomore,
man
freshman.
muscle, as they call it.
Yes. Having had one of my sons who wrestled 106 as a senior, physically, it was like they weren't even in the same weight class.
Little 2-on-1 tilt attempt. Wasn't able to quite get the angle. But staying tough on top. This is one of those where you see the guy on bottom, they just feel like they're drowning down there. Those of us who have wrestled, we all know what it feels like, and it is miserable. What do we get here? So 5-0 coming out of the first period. It's about as I think we would have expected this match to go.
Speaking of being on bottom and drowning, last night I mentioned that in the earlier part of the broadcast, I was watching Penn State, Ohio State last night, and Penn State had a guy, Levi Haynes, who was wrestling a guy, Patty Gallagher from Ohio State, and Haynes was just dominating the match. And
Nice
I was
Granby to
thinking,
Peterson attempt.
and I was thinking, this poor Patty Gallagher is getting dominated. And then I looked up online, and he was the #1 recruit to Ohio State out of Blair Academy. I think it was Blair Academy or something like that. And I thought, dang, even he's drowning.
Oh, man, we gave up a takedown here. A great move off bottom to start the second period. But Alex is not going to let that 2 points he gave up get to him. A stall call that probably won't come into effect. Yeah, that Haynes kid is kind of rocking the world in the NCAAs right now out of nowhere. I think is he a true freshman? I believe so.
He is. Son of one of my former wrestlers.
We also have
Nice little duck under.
We also have Huff wrestling at the same time right now. We are going to keep it on the finals, but he has just scored a takedown in the first period. Now it's an escape, so he's up 2-1. So if he can win that match, he can qualify. Correction, he has qualified, but looking to put himself in a better position next week to take third instead of fourth.
Huff looking for the pin on the
Yeah,
other
he's
mat.
looking solid. Hyman here just workmanlike, just tough on top. He's not this period scoring at will, but he's just riding him really tough, not giving him any options. How many kids, did you look at how many kids does Pace have in the finals? This is definitely one of their better wrestlers.
I am not sure.
So the Haynes kid said he coached his dad. How good was the dad?
State champ
That was the state champ he coached. Okay,
from
that kid.
Gettysburg High School, the only one they've ever had.
I guess I didn't realize that's the same. Okay.
He played D1 soccer and wrestled Division I. The dad. So Huff got the win. Good for him.
Yep. If he can. Now, they've changed this so often, I should know the answer to this. Do you know, with sectionals next week, what place you have to get to qualify for state?
Yeah, top 6
That's
next
what I thought.
weekend.
Okay, so it is top 6. Nice roll through tilt, 2-on-1. Another couple of points. 35 seconds left, up by 11. I don't know that he's going to manage to get the tech. He wants it. He's looking at the score and he's trying to figure out a way to finish this thing. And he's clearly the dominant wrestler, but again, this is a tough kid. He's not gonna give it up easy. Uh-oh. Got short time. He's got him on his back. Can he finish it? He can only get 3 here, so he can't get the tech. He'd have to get the pin to end it.
(16-2) final. Alex Hyman, first place in the area.
So another dominant performance for Lovett in the finals, 2 in a row. At 120 pounds, we just told you that we do not have a Lovett wrestler in the finals. We just told you that Huff just took 3rd. So we will see him next week at sectionals.
This is Diallo from Mount Zion and Jallo from Hampton at 120 pounds.
Hampton. Nope. I was thinking one of those guys were Anthony Paris doing a drive-by.
Yeah. Haven't seen him in a while. This is a good time. Okay, fellas, ladies and gentlemen, this is a good time for the Chick-fil-A public service announcement. We have a new sponsor for our Athlete of the Week after the closing of Otter's Chicken. But the free chicken will continue. Last week's honoree and first ever winner of the Chick-fil-A Athlete of the Week, no longer Otters, is sophomore swimmer Alexis Dalton. Alexis recently broke her own school record at the Metro Swim Invite in the 100-yard breaststroke with a time of, get this, 1 hour and 3 minutes. No, 1 minute and 3 seconds. 1 minute and 3 seconds. She just swam for 1 hour and 3 minutes. 2 seconds faster than any other competitor in the field and the best in Metro Swim Invite history. Alexis,
Nice. Who is that again?
Alexis Dalton.
Great job.
There you go. They're putting a picture up right now. Later today, she'll be competing at the state meet at Georgia Tech. Alexis, we hope you enjoy your free meal from Chick-fil-A. If you're not going to eat those waffle fries, bring them our way.
Am I allowed to say it?
What?
I mean, we've upgraded the chicken we're giving these people, right? Can we all just acknowledge going to Chick-fil-A is a big upgrade? I would much rather be the Chick-fil-A Athlete of the Week than the Otter Box chicken.
Is Otters out of business? So we can now say this, because if not, okay, if they weren't out of business, I would hesitate that we say this.
By the way, they're out of business because they're inferior chicken. So
my son used to love it.
better awards for our athletes.
Can I finish my announcement, please? Congratulations. You are our athlete of the week. I've got more of these. Where that came from. Yeah, I got one more.
We've got another one of these matches. You might want to save it.
Okay, good. I'll save that one. So good for Alexis. The swim team, state meet today at Georgia Tech. So as soon as you're done with us, we recommend that you head on over to Georgia Tech to watch the state swim meet.
And what grade is she? Sophomore.
She is a sophomore.
Sophomore, setting records, huh?
How about that? Levitt swim team has had some serious competitors over the years. I don't believe John Giarkitis was a swimmer. Not sure John Giarkitis did anything athletic in his career. Did you do anything, John Giarkitis? What did you play during your days here? Lots of he said,
left bench.
He said
played
lots of backup
left
position.
bench.
Anyways.
Auxiliary coach.
Auxiliary. All right. It was 5-0. Diallo.
Bet he was a video and audio club rock star.
Careful, again, if we have a video and audio club, which I don't think we do.
Fairly lackluster match going on, especially if you're a Lovett fan.
Lackluster.
Top man laying on a bar arm, not really running it. Bottom man happy to let him lay on it. Okay, we're back on our feet, little action.
So the next, this is the 120, next pet match for Lovett will be Kale Kuski at 126 pounds, which will be coming up shortly.
And he will be wrestling. You got that bracket handy?
I do. He will be wrestling from Woodland, Ernesto Heath.
Really? Woodland.
Ernesto's record might not be indicative of how excellent a wrestler he is.
I wonder what happened, because I know that there's another ranked wrestler. It's in that weight class. I wonder what happened there. Who did he beat in the semis?
He beat Peter Webb from PAC. Ernesto had a not very impressive 7-12 record coming into this tournament. So maybe somebody either got hurt or didn't compete at the 126-pound weight class. But I'm not sure we're seeing some of the best at 126 at this particular tournament. Diallo, who's winning this match handily, if I go back and look at these semis against Matthew Huff, he only won 13-5. So Matthew looks like he could compete quite favorably with this guy who's going to finish second. Maybe they'll see each other next weekend.
My understanding is that that's actually a tough weight class in our section. I learned that from Joeypedia, as I call him, Joey Kuski. A wealth of information about wrestling.
Sometimes his information is right. Sometimes, nah.
It's usually right.
Joey does a lot of research.
Well, interesting attempt there. Stalemate. The referee was getting bored of where that was also.
Yeah, the referees sometimes get a little bored when nothing's going on as well. The other day I was watching some Flow Wrestling.
What was it? It was a takedown.
Right? He didn't call it.
He did call it.
Oh, he did call it. And they actually had an update on National Flow Wrestling about the Georgia State Duels Finals. Unfortunately, they had the end of the Lovett Central Carroll match, and they highlighted it
Lovely.
on a national
I mean, look,
Flow Wrestling broadcast.
while it was unfortunate for Lovett, it was a great dual meet.
It was. It was a great high school match.
And it came down to the final match, and it came down to a guy needing, to pin to win, and all the makings of an exciting duel.
It did.
But it's always, you don't necessarily want to be on the downside of an exciting match or duel.
But, the sad thing is that it leaves the losing team with a bad taste in their mouth. I have a child that played on a team that lost the lacrosse state championship by 1 goal in overtime. And
Really? Okay.
They were that good, the team, and we should have won that game, but it leaves them, they don't get celebrated. He never wants to really talk about it. And the other team is jumping around, putting the picture on the wall, and
Right.
it's just a shame, Well, this is the end of the third period, and then we move on to several Lovett wrestlers in a row.
Yeah, and realistically, again, Cale Kuski coming up, who's a defending state champ. Our area isn't particularly strong in his weight class, and I'm not necessarily expecting him to have all that tough of a match.
Me either.
Quick pin would be fun though. Doesn't always need to be exciting.
Well, based upon what I saw, Huff lost to the best kid in the weight class, and I think he could beat the other kid. All right, here we go. Cale Kuski against Ernesto Heath.
What school is this again we have?
This is Woodland,
Woodland.
Stockbridge. It's Woodland, Stockbridge, I guess.
It's very confusing with the two Stockbridges. Woodland
Yes.
Stockbridge versus other Stockbridge.
Or other Woodland.
This guy was acting like he wanted to be in an under-over, and once he got there and realized how comfortable Cale was, decided he didn't want it as much. Two-on-one, trying to tilt him up here. He's got good pressure on him. I don't know if he scored 2 there or not. We got 2 points near fall.
Working that Spencer Lee little tilt.
This might be it right here. Doesn't seem like he's in a great position to finish.
Nope.
But
There
now he is. That's tight. I don't see this guy getting out of this one.
I don't either.
A lot of transitioning. I don't know if that maybe I just stayed with what I had. They'll wear down.
Here it is. All right, now we move on to 132 pounds, where we have Mejia from Stockbridge, the other Stockbridge, against Jack Geegan from Lovett, 132 pounds. This could be an interesting match.
Interesting music choice for Jack Geegan.
Oh, wait, listen to Taylor Swift? What is this?
I'm sorry. Did you say Taylor Swift?
What a
It's a
okay, Geegan.
some sort of reggae.
She can fill multiple genres.
It was also a male voice.
Ooh. Can't throw her voice. All right, Jack Geegan. See what you got here?
So Jack Geegan, usually aggressive early. He is furiously wiping his hands off. I don't know what he got on them, but he didn't like something they wound up with on his hands.
Yeah, referee's checking it. He's you're not allowed to go on the mat with any kind of substance. I don't know exactly.
He's trying to throw his spitball out there at him, huh?
Yeah. Oh, guy's blowing his nose. This is getting worse by the minute.
He keeps wiping at his nose. It looks like he might have gotten
he got
a little.
He got slime.
Little nose.
He got slime.
Little nose grease.
Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh.
Please, someone get this snot off my hands. We had emergency run in. Beth Garrett running in.
I have to say,
athletic trainer dealing with a snotting.
I don't think I've ever seen that before.
I'm not gonna say never. Not
right
quite like that.
It's right up there.
Nice low ankle. Oh, good finish. Oh, how did?
Kind of spun right out of it.
Felt like he did too much there.
Yeah. Look good.
Just lock it down sometimes and get your two. Too much spinning and frolicking.
Yeah, that may be the first time I've heard that word used in a wrestling match as well.
Frolicking?
Yeah. He's going out there and he's frolicking. I don't think I've ever heard Maldonado say, guys, I want you frolicking out there on the mat.
I feel like you should use that next time you're coaching a practice just because.
I think I may just do that.
One of these attempts.
Alex Hyman, good job out there.
Now we've got kind of a front head, but not really good control over it. Yeah.
He's switching around, moving a little too much.
The opponent here is doing a pretty good job when he takes a shot and gets, kind of caught. He's doing a good job keeping his elbows in, keeping his head in good position, so he's able to clear back out.
End of the first period, 0-0.
So I'd assume we're going to take bottom. Yeah.
Just in case it ends up in tiebreaker right out.
Right. And most of the time, I like, and I'd say that a lot of people like, if they to keep the choice for the third period. But when you're 0-0 in the first, just in case you go to the ultimate ride out, you like having choice in triple overtime.
Stay up. Get that arm trap. I think you're allowed to do that.
Well, he took him to the non-trapped arm side. That's why it was not illegal.
That's a nice escape. 1-0, love it.
Yeah, the singles there, he's just got to finish strong. Yeah. Guy's got good defense.
He does.
He's getting those legs back quickly, using his hips well. So both these guys having difficulty getting past the other's offense on their feet. We see a lot of our wrestlers with the dyed blonde hair. Jack was one where the hair looked awful enough where he felt like he had to trim it pretty close.
He wasn't going to dye it either. Yeah, but he did.
Come on, finish. Come on. You got to want this here. Uh-oh. No. You can see him baiting into that spladle. This kid's pretty slick. Come on, Jack. Fight off your back here. It's tight.
What's he looking over? The ref's looking over here. This one's clearly down. Yeah.
The kid did a good job setting that up.
That was a tough one.
It's pretty tough.
He rolled through on that. Thought maybe Jack was going to get that, but he kept his butt up in the air, and the guy rolled him. Good win. Good win for
Kind of surprised that guy is not ranked.
Mr. Mejia from Stockbridge.
He looked pretty tough. Look, Jack got caught. I believe that's a guy that Jack wrestles a good match. He can beat, but he's a tough kid. Good defense.
All right. Jake Kennedy versus Sean Goldsby. Goldsby's 24-4. He's got a nice little record.
Got to be careful following that Granby.
Yeah, nice little move there. Gave him one for an escape, lost control from Jake.
Goldsby's ranked number 7 in the state. This is one that we talked about earlier. Jake ranked 5th. So this should be one of the, good matchups of the finals here.
That being said, I agree with that. That being said, we think Jake is underrated because
We do.
there are a lot of reasons why.
He's got to prove it.
One of them that last year he had to wrestle out of his weight class and finished 5th, 6th, whatever that 5th. And he's very
Drive
tough.
through, yeah. You see the way he shoots that double. He doesn't stop. He doesn't do that thing where they get kind of caught on their knees where he hopes they fall over. He keeps driving through on his double. So when he finishes, he's finishing 10 feet from, back from where he started. And that's what makes it work on even a tougher wrestler.
And we're 6-2 in the first period. Jake looks in control.
Yeah, the thing about that Granby, unless you've got a really, really good one, once you've seen it a few times, guys start getting a little better at catching it.
You get wise to it.
Yeah. Almost caught him for back points on that one. You might even start on top trying to bait them into trying that Granby so you can catch them. He chooses to put him up, gives him a free escape point. Feels like he can take him down again in the next 38 seconds.
Which is smart because he's already taken him down 3 times.
It's the only thing would you have done it with 38 seconds? That's the question.
If you're Jake Kennedy, yes. If the rest of us, maybe not.
And a headlock, kind of fell into one, but clearly made the right decision,
Jake is
giving that free escape point.
squeezing.
He's got 5. He's got 2 for the takedown. He's got 3 points locked up for near fall. Obviously, he's trying to finish it with a pin. It's going to be this kid's bridging hard and fighting tough. There's short times. Doesn't look like it's going to happen.
I would imagine Jake was squeezing quite hard on that. He's a tough kid.
And you didn't hear a crowd yelling "squeeze."
Squeeze.
It's a long-standing inside wrestling sort of joke, making fun of all the people who yell "squeeze" in that situation. But I'm not going to pretend I've never yelled "squeeze."
Have you ever yelled at your kid to get up when he's on bottom?
Get up.
Yeah.
Yes, yes,
he's,
I have.
Like he's not trying to get up. If you yell, well, your son might not be.
Your son, actually,
Was
Kyler,
not.
definitely sometimes was not.
No, he was not.
He would look up at the scoreboard, see who's winning, and in the third period, like, nah, I'm not going anywhere.
That's right. He was perfectly happy to spend the rest
Very
of the
content.
period on bottom.
Very content.
That is the way he has lived his life.
He would know exactly how many stall calls he could give up from that position as well.
Yep.
Jake is one of those guys where he's so active that he gets stall calls against his opponents where you might otherwise not.
Yeah.
When you're an extremely active, aggressive wrestler, it makes someone who's more on the average side look like they're not doing anything.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of the reasons, too. If you got an opponent who is clearly stalling, you want to make sure you're picking up your activity, give the referee a chance to call it.
That's like when you're on top. If you hop side to side, even though you're really not doing anything, it makes the referee think this guy is not doing anything.
Man, that's a tough roll through tilt right there. Got himself a little loose. He did get 2 points. My guess is he's going to manage to keep control, or he will find a way just to cut him here and go for another takedown.
See Jake hit that roll through tilt a number of times, and he doesn't tend to have it as tight as he needs to have.
I'd like to see him do it, just keep it a little tighter. He hits it effectively, and he scores with it a lot, but there's a little bit of danger with a roll through tilt if you don't have them really, really tight to your hips.
Yep. Ooh.
So this match started off looking a little closer. I mean, not that he, wasn't firing off shots and scoring, but it's not looking like much of a match at this point.
One more takedown.
Which again,
and a turn.
Yeah, and there's your takedown.
He might just cut him.
Which again, this guy's ranked 7th. We feel like Jake is a underranked 5. This is kind of an example of it. I mean, he just has a habit of dominating some ranked guys. So up by 14.
Needs a point.
No back points yet. Still nothing. Getting close, but no. Oop, it's got the Turk in. And now he doesn't. You know, I mean, this kid's fighting hard. He knows he's losing this match. I mean, he knows it's pretty much done, but he's not going to give it up easy. There's your tech fall. 19-4, match over. Ian Horan coming in at 144 pounds. Who do we have there?
We have
Coach Allen.
Christopher Williams from Hampton, junior. He's 22-12. This could be an interesting match. Ian already knocked off the first seed.
Oh, I didn't even. That was the first seed he knocked off earlier, huh?
From Mount Zion.
That was a great match for him. If you were watching those semifinals, you do have the ability also to go back and watch that later.
Speaking of that.
Oh. Going big quick. Don't, sitting backwards instead of going forwards. Interesting.
If going back and watching is your thing, or you'd like to listen to Coach Kaufman and I, you can go back and get some of the other archive matches we've called.
Indeed.
Through the years.
I would suggest not necessarily watching Battle of the Belt this year. I'll tell you, it was, I would say, not our finest work, but truth be told, we dominated enough where we didn't have much to talk about.
Yes, I believe our finest match would have been 2021's Buckhead bout.
Is that a real thing? Is that
no?
That's what I thought. I didn't remember doing that.
Neither did I. Ian's up, and he's got a crate. He might just win this thing.
Tell you what, him finishing as an area champion would be a big deal for him and for the Lovett squad.
Yes, it would.
Younger guy came very long ways this season, this year, but you know he's
referee is looking at. I guess he's trying to see if the near side shoulder.
I can't.
Yeah. Wow. I guess he saw it from that vantage point.
So how about that, Ian, with a pin in the finals? It's probably his biggest day of wrestling of his life so far.
I would say so.
Puts him in a good position with a good seed for sectionals next week. Nice. That was a big deal.
Nick Moffitt for Lovett, wrestling at 150 pounds against James Edmondson from Hampton.
So again, Moffitt ranked second in state, but at 144 pounds. The rankers out there were assuming he would drop.
Rankers. Now, I will say this. I think Nick's going to win this match. But physically, you can see, the guy looks a little bigger because Nick's wrestling up.
He does look like a big kid, doesn't he?
He just looks a bigger. But I think Nick's going to be a better wrestler, and I think Nick's going to win this match.
Well, under-over I don't love our guys in that situation just because we don't spend a lot of time practicing throws, and some of these teams, that's what they live and die by. That said, Moffitt usually stays in pretty good position. He's got good hips, good body awareness.
Nick and his twin sister celebrated their 18th birthdays the other day.
What day?
The other day.
The other day.
Yes. It may have been yesterday. I think maybe it was yesterday.
I thought it was this weekend.
Maybe it is. I don't know what I'm talking about. Oh.
I don't know what the guy thought he was going to do with that.
I don't know either.
Didn't seem like a highly effective move. Can you explain that one to me?
No. Ooh, nice crossface. The guy does not look happy.
Yeah, Nick is tough on top. He's very active. He's not someone who's just looking to hold you down. He's looking to score from top position.
He looks agitated.
And I don't know what this guy did to himself, but
what? And I don't know what he did to Nick because Nick is not happy.
Nick needs to stop, get to center, worry about himself, not worry about the other guy.
He's ticked, I think. Seems to be got himself together. Both guys.
Well. There. Yep. That's nice. Nice way to get his legs in, and he's tough on top in general, but especially tough with the leg in.
Referee looking for figure four of the body, which you are not allowed to do.
We've seen that called sort of, I don't know, inconsistently, I'd say, this season.
Yeah. All right, 2-0. Interesting first period. Interesting loose word. I'm not quite sure why I think it was interesting, except there was some unusual activity, a roll through we haven't seen too often, and then
yeah, we've seen some action. So
yes, we have.
It's been a fun match to watch so far. It's actually, if you think about all the things that have happened, being 2-0, you would think there'd be a higher score. This guy's trying to rough Moffitt up a little bit. That is, ooh.
Nice
Didn't work out well for him, did it?
No, it did not. Nice headlock. Hey, guy stuck his head in there. And Nick
That's a nice little headlock.
Thank you.
And it's funny because Moffitt's one of those guys, like, he's got an ability to hit some things like that we don't really work that much on. Again, just good body awareness.
Lift his head.
It's not a pin, but it's close. We can see the shoulder up on this side. There it is. Nice match.
All right.
So Fisher being a freshman, I don't want to say he's just happy to be here, but I'm happy he's here. Being in the finals of area, I think is a big deal for him. He's already got locked up a decent seed for sectionals next week. Obviously, a finals win would be a big deal. He was trailing in his semifinals match, and he did what he's done a few times this year. He does manage to come back.
Fisher has a chance at this match. He's wrestling the second seed, Kana Johnson, who's 10-6. We'll see what happens.
What school is this again?
Hampton.
Do they have different singlets, or am I losing my mind? So this Hampton kid is, he's ranked 6th in the state. What was the name again? Is that right?
Kana Johnson.
No, different Hampton kid. So where was the...
Trimble was the guy from Luella that he beat, the number 1 seed. But again, nobody's got a great record in this weight class. Trimble had 9-6, Johnson 10-6.
Come on. Legs back, get your shoelaces down. Gotta get your hips up. Keep that whizzer. He needs to keep that whizzer. He's putting all of his shoulder pressure down on his opponent's shoulder right now.
Didn't say square and
There you go.
sprawl.
There. Pretty good job there. But he needs to stay in better position. Getting a little sloppy and out of stance when he comes up. That's two. It was dangerous, but it was two.
Yes, it was. Now he's got the cross. Lock it up. Rock him back.
Can he
and
keep him
take
inbounds?
yes,
You got to be
can.
careful about keeping him
You
inbounds.
don't have to roll it. Time ran out.
Yeah.
That's a bummer. He was
So-
going to take that back.
It looked like it. Fisher is a pretty good athlete for a freshman. I have high expectations for him over the next few years in the Lovett lineup.
I suppose that means if he was a sophomore, he might not be a good athlete. But he is a good athlete. All right, Fisher, what are you going to do with that?
Gotta be careful with that.
He doesn't need to go big against this guy, but maybe.
So when you
Score.
Oh, you saw it. We both saw the same thing there. There was this moment where there was an arm up in the air, and you had to change directions, punch your arm through,
He had him.
and you would have had him on his back.
Oh,
That's one of those things when you're in it. You either feel it, you see it, or you don't.
it's a feel. It's a feel thing.
You know, he's
Fisher just hadn't had a lot of mat action. Oh, nice
nice.
Nice ankle pick. That was a nice ankle pick, I have to say. Fisher hadn't had a lot of mat action wrestling. He started in 7th grade, wrestled 2 seasons, missed some of this year, wasn't varsity, and all of a sudden stepped in a couple weeks ago. And he's got 10 matches under his belt, and he's winning some important matches.
Oh, you didn't have the head. You got to have the arm in it. He did this wrong.
Didn't need that either. Up 4-0.
Well, I think it might have actually potentially worked if it was done correctly. But it's one of those moves that I don't necessarily want guys trying it unless you know they know how to do it right. Yep. Get one. There you go.
We have a couple of middle school
No,
guys.
he's got to stop walking straight into his opponent. Standing straight up. Quick 2. Well, that all worked out for the best, didn't it?
I was about to say we have a couple middle school guys who like to do that Rocco wrong. So they need a little extra time with it, just like Fisher does. And he's going to get that cradle locked up again with no time left.
I'm not sure I wouldn't take top. Okay.
Okay.
I understand why they're doing it. He's gotten the takedowns in this match.
Plus, he's already given up an escape, and if he gives up on another escape and a takedown, all of a sudden, now if he just gives up a takedown, he's up 7-4. And
You ready to wrestle? Okay. I'm going to work on staying in stance. Stop dropping your head down when their head is down. No.
Don't get tossed. Don't get tossed.
Ah.
Yeah, push your head out. You're
There you
still
go.
good.
Go up the butt.
Go up the butt.
He's
Yes,
doing the right.
He is.
Sorry, that is what you coached him to do.
Yes, he
Where his
is.
left hand
He's
is.
still good. He's still good. He's got to stay. He's got to keep
He needs
his
to
hips
watch
to the
that
mat.
shoulder.
Just to keep his hips to the
Yeah,
mat.
he needs-
There
exactly.
he goes. Good job.
Standing straight up. You got to stop doing that.
Score. Now's when he's got to score.
And he's got to keep his head above his tip.
Ah.
Oh, don't let him come back up where he wants to be with that throw again. Get the quick 2. Just circle, get 2. There we go. Now go to work on top. Woo! Gave us a little scare.
I'm exhausted just calling this match.
Now, for the record, that's kind of why I didn't want to go neutral, because you saw the kid wants to throw, and even though we've done well with it, it seemed a little dangerous.
There he wants that cradle again. This time, with a minute to go.
Not on the edge of the mat either. This kid seems like he's given up, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He was done.
Good job, Fisher
So,
French.
Freshman area champion, Fisher French. So we got a big day for a couple of our guys now.
Nice walk-up music. Was this from Mario Kart or something like that.
Not Mario Kart, but Mario. Super Mario.
Super Mario.
The Mance's opponents out there smiling and laughing. Mance is still stone-faced.
Who's picking this stuff?
I thought Noah does it all himself. I don't know if he picks the music for them
really
or not, though.
funny. I don't expect this one to last very long.
This kid looks like he's actually got some wrestling skills. I still think it's going to be a domination.
I will
but
tell
he's
you.
hitting some interesting. He's got good movement.
Well, I'll tell you if he has wrestling skills. Based upon his record, this is from Mount Zion, Jonesboro, 22-5. Victor Martinez, not a bad record.
What was the name again? Victor Martinez?
Victor Martinez. Excellent name.
So, Mance, workman-like fashion, doing his thing.
Little head stuff.
Straight to a bar arm. You know, it's what you look for, that chain wrestling. You try one thing, it's not there. What's the next thing that's naturally you're in the right position for? You're not starting from scratch each time. It's a tough position to fight. He's tapping out effectively. I don't know if the referee saw it. This is one of those where he did not want any more.
Nope. Back to Mario.
I would like to hear that again.
Super Mario. I love that. All right, now we're at Thomas Robinson, T-Rob Robinson for Lovett at 175 pounds.
You better be paying attention when you're watching T-Rob wrestle because you never know what's going to happen.
Wrestling Crumley from Lahade.
Nice job.
From Luella.
T-Rob. And, can he get that cradle? He's going for it. Oh. Nothing yet. Don't give it to him. Got to get your right arm back. There he goes. And 2. He really has improved so much since last year.
Absolutely.
Be careful with that leg there. Yeah, okay. There we go. Doesn't look like he's got did he get it locked again? That usually does not happen. He had a cradle. The grip got broken. It looked like he was going to lose it. He managed to lock it back up.
Nice win for T-Rob, area champ. Well, this is another match where we do not have anyone because Kieran ended up wrestling in the consolation round. Grigsby and Cheeks, this is so.
And did I miss it? Did we miss
Boland?
Yes.
Let me tell you.
Has he already wrestled or is
He has not.
He has not. Okay, so that's 3rd and 4th. We've got the finals is running a little faster than 3rd and 4th, which is unusual, a little bit. What you got for us?
All right. Do you smell that? It smells like more free chicken. This week's honoree is junior girls basketball leader Eloise Diffley. I thought we just did a Chick-fil-A free chicken announcement. We're doing another one.
We got more chicken.
This week's honoree is junior girls basketball leader Eloise Diffley. She's averaging 11 points and 6 rebounds on the season and is shooting 47% from the field. Sounds excellent. She leads the team in all categories. Eloise and the Lions lost a tough game against Pace last night, but will look to bounce back against Brandon Hall later this afternoon. Eloise, we hope you enjoy your free meal from Chick-fil-A. If you don't want those waffle fries, I'll take them.
Send them our way.
Congratulations, you are our athlete of the week. I guess we have 2 athletes of the week then. Because earlier,
You sure they're not just throwing all kinds of updates at you?
Well, that's what I think they're doing. Yearly we had Alexis Dalton, who was athlete of the week. How many athletes of the week do we get? Oh, we have 2 this week. It was a big week for sports. There's a whole lot going on out there that I wasn't paying attention to. Rocky, can you update us?
They saw it. There was a headlock to start the first period. And he rolled out of it and back up to his feet, and here we are.
Thank you for
It
that.
looked like a nice headlock. I was actually thinking it might end the match, but obviously it did not.
Thank you for that excellent recap. Oh, I'll do that. Yeah, sure, in a little bit.
This guy likes to go big, so expect that to happen again. He obviously likes to throw. I'd like to see them get up on their feet another few times. Let's see some more throws. If we're going to have to sit here and watch a non-Levitt match, we may as well see some throwing.
Yeah, these 2 guys in the final have some nice old records. Grigsby 30-4 and Cheeks 32-4. Got any rankings on these guys, just so we can update our
I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention. Who did you say these guys are?
Cheeks and Grigsby, 190 pounds. Cheeks and Grigsby.
So we talked about Grigsby earlier.
What do
and
they got him ranked at?
He is ranked 9th. He is a junior.
Okay. What about Cheeks?
I do not see him.
Alvino Cheeks.
No.
Albino?
You know, I do feel like there's a few of these guys from some of these schools that are in this area.
Over-exaggerated records?
This area has a lot of wrestlers that are south of the city. Well, no, what I'm saying is I actually think that there's some decent wrestlers who they kind of wrestle a lot in that area, and they're not necessarily wrestling a lot of big tournaments to where the people doing rankings are seeing enough of them. So they can be both underrated and overrated because they're not seeing a lot of the same people. That makes them easier to rank.
That, my friends, is difficult to do, to be both overrated and underrated at the same time.
No, we did have, in quotes, senior night already today, even though it was at 9 in the morning.
He just pinned himself. He is pinned.
It was really close, wasn't it? And the referee was looking for it.
Yeah, well, he might have been, but he was flat for 2 seconds. Remember, it's a 3 count.
Yeah, we had a Westminster coach, in fairness, an assistant coach.
In fairness,
It was a younger guy who hadn't been coaching very long, came back to help out, and he's yelling because he felt our guy was pinned, and he's literally yelling at the referee. Or what is it? It's the other way around. Their guy they felt was not pinned, and he was yelling at the referee that it's a 3 count. Everyone started looking at each other like, no, this isn't WWE. It's a 2 count.
when you're growing up, you always think it's 1, 2, 3, and pin or whatever, but it's actually a 2 count. So we all rolled our eyes at that moment.
You do a lot of eye rolling.
Me?
You're an eye rolling kind of a guy.
Oh, absolutely. I'm rolling my eyes at you right now. Yeah, I just got a text. Somebody's actually listening to us.
Is it your mother again?
Well, that's my wife.
Oh, there we go.
Hey, somebody's listening. This guy's going to pin himself again. Twice in one match. There it is. Maybe that one wasn't.
It definitely was not.
Yes. But it was close. And this is quite an interesting match, though. I will say.
I
10-7.
believe that he's got injured lungs over there.
Injured lungs, which is your way of saying he's taking a break.
Pretty much. The old injury time. So there's
Non-injury
nothing you can do about it. You can take an injury injury time.
Non-injury
slash
injury
break
time.
for any reason you want. But it's always funny because these guys start pointing at different things. Oh, I don't know if it's my knee or my shoulder, but something's hurting. And like, I just say you're taking an injury timeout. Stop pointing at stuff. I could be wrong. He's limping a little bit there. Maybe he's
That's not very sensitive of you.
I may be judging him unfairly.
Quite judgy of you.
Probably not, though. I still think it's his lungs. I just think he's playing it up more than most.
I would agree with you. You know, Ian Horan just won an area tournament. He's over there stripping the mats.
It's the Love It way.
Either he's been penalized and punished, or he's just contributing because he's that kind of a teammate.
Or because some senior yelled at him, too.
Yeah. This is one of the more entertaining matches.
Just realized we are on camera, which is unfortunate. If anyone's seen me rolling out my shoulder for an hour straight.
We're on camera?
Looks like one of the views over here.
Yeah. Wow. Hope I look all right.
Classic old wrestler. I'm dealing with neck and shoulder stuff. Look ridiculous over here. What's going to happen here? What do you think?
You know,
I have no idea what's going to happen here.
third period, I can't tell who's winning.
Well, I mean, it's interesting. Oh, that's flat.
Oh, man, he's done.
He doesn't look like he wants to be out there any longer.
He doesn't. Grigsby with the win. No, Grigsby with the win. He was losing 10-7. I thought he was winning. How about that?
This is one of these guys that, he's going to come out of area second.
All right, you want to sign off here, or are you going to stay with us, Rocky?
I haven't decided yet.
Okay. You want to see how the first 30 seconds goes?
Pretty much.
This is Aiden Kaufman
I like the musical choice.
against Sutherland from Stockbridge.
The Imperial March. This is actually not who I thought we were going to be wrestling in the
I
finals.
agree. I thought it was that big guy.
Stockbridge.
He's 7-0 on the year, senior.
Is he?
Yep. I know we're not allowed to bet, but I'm putting my money on Aiden Kaufman.
Is this kid?
Oops. Headgear comes off in the first 5 seconds.
Doing a good job working that headgear.
Already taking a break. All right, we're at 215 pounds, area final. Aiden Kaufman against Elijah Sutherland.
This kid's doing some backing up. We need to be pressuring him more, not letting him circle back around. I'd like to see him start digging some underhooks here. He's not going to get there, is he? Come on. Come on, you got to circle hard. Usually, if you see Bear do that in the first period, it's a pretty good sign.
It's a sign of things to come.
I'm not going to get overzealous about it, but he was too early, too aggressive on that. He does have a way of making guys just look like they're stalling, doesn't he?
Where did you learn that from, I wonder?
So this is one of those situations you look for a guy to be a little explosive off the whistle. They know it's their best chance to escape, so you got to be really tough right off the whistle right here. And he did a really, really fast move to drop his left elbow to the mat. It's a joke. You're supposed to laugh when I say stuff like that. How am I the only one commenting right now? You're supposed to be really taking the lead in this. Uh-oh. Watch Peterson. Watch Peterson.
Ooh.
I didn't like the look of that.
All right, 2-0 end of the first period. They defer.
Yep, we're going to take bottom.
No, it shows neutral. I saw Kip showing neutral.
Well, the coaches were saying bottom. Bear said neutral.
Yeah,
I think he felt like that first takedown was a little easy, so he wanted to see if he can get another one. I think he would have done fine on bottom, personally, but,
Agreed.
If a wrestler feels something, you got to let him have it sometimes, right?
Also agreed.
There
he goes.
That's what he hoped for again. Notch. Lift! I want to see him lift and Turk here, like his coaches are yelling at him to. Come on to it. Ah. So, I've always felt like when your wrestler shakes you off in terms of the choice, it's one of those RK, but you better score.
But you better make good on this.
So he scored. So there you go. Now he needs to break him flat, especially because this is a guy. Listen, he's trying to set up that Peterson again. That's kind of his thing. You can see it. Suck him back. Suck him back. Get off your knees. Get off your knees. Get off your knees. He needed to swim over the head there. He would have had an easy couple of back points.
Yes. Much let me take it from here. He needed to swim over the head, and he would have had a couple easy back points.
Excellent job. Excellent
Analysis.
job.
I think Aiden is wearing this guy out.
I don't like how he's let him get back to in front. We need to get back to. I don't like the 1 point escape with 20 seconds left. I would have ridden him a little harder there. Good stance.
Looks like we have another fan watching the finals. Perhaps. Kyler Allen must be tuned in, watching Aiden Kaufman score another
Quick two on the whistle. That kid is lightning fast. Must be genetic.
Oh my gosh. Lightning is not the
he is not
word
Aiden Lightning Kaufman. That is not what they call him. Slow and steady.
Aiden Sloth. Kaufman.
He does what he does, but he scores a lot of points doing it. Well, gets a lot of wins doing it.
All right, now they must have chosen top.
That's
illegal start.
That's
much better. Referee gave him that grace.
He needs to work harder to get out here, or he's going to get himself in. There you go. Come on. There you go. Do you take the one or do you go for the two right there? Yeah, he wanted the one.
Yeah.
I like it.
What are we, 7-1, third period.
I mean, this is 6 points. That's like tech and heavyweight matches, isn't it?
I was going to say for Aiden, this is an absolute blowout.
I don't want to get overzealous, but I'd like to see him get another two here.
It's usually 3-1, 3-2.
It's not. He's going to get hit for stalling if he doesn't start working a little harder to score.
All right.
He's in a little too much of cruise control.
By the way, I want to preface the next match, by the way. You're going to want to stay tuned. It's Christian Bell against one of his only 2 losses in the season coming up. And should be an interesting match. Christian lost to the kid earlier this year. Rocky is imploring Aiden to do.
Run it!
There
Run
it is. Oh,
Ah! Thought he's going to catch it. Don't, come on. Work here.
there we go. 9-1. He's got a major
He needs to keep it. You can't give up the major there.
because the team score is very important here.
Frankly, that's a good call. The referee just called him for stalling. He needs to get to work.
Rocky is applauding the ref for calling his son for stalling. Love that. We expect better in the Kaufman family.
Stalling is stalling.
You'll hear about
I
it
wish we would have
tonight.
called him earlier. Make him go for another 2 here.
You'll hear about it tonight at the dinner table. And
Cruising. Looks a little gassed.
he does look a little tired. Got to get him out running some laps.
Usually he's. I think that gaining.
He's exhausted. All right, Christian Bell, Lovett heavyweight.
So this is his opportunity for vengeance. This is the only kid he's lost to this year in the state of Georgia. And he was winning the match, really dominating. Had his opponent on his back, and he got rolled to his back and pinned. I can promise you he wants this match badly.
It's Andre Battle from Mount Zion against Christian Bell from Lovett in our final finals match. So, Christian has a very nice duck under like you just saw there, sort of a high crotch type of duck. And this is what he did the whole match, the first match, but he
Right.
got caught trying to kind of roll through on one of those.
He was taking him down at will, and tell you what, I don't know if I even want to turn this guy.
This guy fights real well from his back.
So this guy, again, he pinned Christian Bell because he was on his back and rolled Christian to his back. We watched him wrestling in the semis. In the semis, he was, guess what, on his back, and again, rolled his opponent to his back. So
Which
it's
says
his most dangerous position. Don't put this guy on his back.
he goes to his back too much, but he also seems to be able to come off it.
He's going to try. He's going to bridge hard, finish him.
Christian is going to make hopefully quick work of this.
I like what he sees it. He's trying to wear him out. He's keeping it a little bit loose. He's not getting overcommitted to it. I'm fine with that.
Yep. Christian has not, as we said, if you were watching earlier today, has not been a pinner at heavyweight. He wins matches handily. He's quicker than any of his opponents. He just has a hard time keeping him there, and I think it has to do with body weight and the size of the guys he's wrestling, somewhat.
Nice. He's got a Turk. That's going to be of course, that is where he got rolled. I'd really like to see this pin happen and be done.
So this time we're up 8-0.
I do believe last match he actually had a Turk in when he got rolled.
I thought they were going from one of those ducks.
Well, they wound up landing on the mat. He had kind of a Turk in, but he wasn't elevating the leg. So he left it on the ground to be able to bridge.
He is going to wrestle smart. I believe he's learned a few things. So let's see if he puts them into practice here. Continues to wrestle smart.
He just took off his anklet, just threw it on the ground. If you're going to take it off, because it's not fitting on you, you at least need to get it off the mat.
All right, back on their feet for the second period.
Takedown in 10 seconds or less. Go. I lost.
He did. I think Christian's going to be, he's going to wrestle smart. He doesn't have to score a ton of points.
I mean, he knows he's up by 8.
Yeah.
Being a little cautious.
Yeah.
We don't need team points here, although I always like them.
It doesn't hurt to have more team points.
I don't even know if they're. I don't even think they're doing a team title here, are they?
That's a good point, actually. Well, no, I think.
I don't know. They've gone back and forth. GHSA has gone back and forth on this through the years, and for many, many years. I think there's an area championship, but not a sectional championship. And is that right?
I think there is not an area team champ.
There's not.
There's not a
Sectional.
sectional team champ. I think they will give an area team championship to this.
So he needs to keep circling right here. You want to circle your legs away from the opponent here to bring that shoulder down. Yeah, he's got a bar arm. Is he going to really use it? No, that's what I thought. He gave it up. Didn't want the bar arm.
I'm trying to see, in fact, what the team scores are right now. Just so those of you who are keeping score at home can find out if we are indeed winning this championship, which I would find it surprising if we weren't winning by 100 points.
Yeah, I mean, you've seen there's only, I believe, 2 finals matches that we didn't have a Love It wrestler, so it's really been a dual meet.
Give me your thought as to how many points, or not how many points, but whether we're winning and by how much.
Let's skip the whether we're winning part.
We are in fact winning.
So because it's a short tournament, you're not talking about 16-man brackets. You can't score as many points. So it's not going to be one of those situations where you're, 200 and something points. I don't know.
Stop while you're behind. We have 307 points.
I don't understand how that's possible.
Clearly. Luella is in second with 159. So Levitt is, I believe, even without this major or tech, I think we've got this one locked up.
I think that we've just got it.
I think we've locked up this tournament. 307 and a half. I don't know if I've ever seen a team score 307 points in a tournament. I guess I'm with you. Not sure how that happened. I'll have to talk to Mike Smythe, the guy running the tournament, and find out how.
He may just be throwing extra team points at us back there.
At this point, he's just like, let's give him an extra 5, 10, 15. No.
So he was a little more careful there. You saw it.
Yes, he was.
He wasn't so over-committing for the back that he was going to let himself get thrown over to his back, that was kind of the situation that happened last time. He needs to elevate that leg. If he's going to have that Turk in, elevate. It's probably pretty comfy just right there. He needs to get off that ankle so he doesn't get hit for stalling, as he did.
12-1, third period, minute and 20 to go.
No, he's got the Turk in again. Can he get these backs? If he doesn't get the pin, he's going to need one more set of backs to finish this thing. I know he wants this pin, though. Even though he's not over-committing to it, just a sense of satisfaction.
Would I be correct in saying that every finalist has won today, Rocky? Work back through your mind quickly.
I feel like that's right.
I think it is as well.
No.
There's the tech fall.
We missed one at least.
Well, no, we have 2 guys that wrestle for third and fourth.
We missed one finals match at least. And that is going to finish up the finals. So as we dominated the area tournament. We're in great position for sectionals next week. Our competition is not going to love the seeds we're coming into sectionals with.
So Love It Wrestling fans, if you're listening, next weekend Love It will be in the sectional with 3 other area champion teams, 16-man brackets. Top 6 next weekend will qualify for states the following Thursday and Friday down in Macon. So if you're not doing anything on that Thursday and Friday, February 16, 17, come on down to Macon and see Love It Wrestle. That's the state wrestling tournament. So we appreciate you guys joining us today. Our time is up. We thank you for your time. Your final score from the Wallace Gym is Love It 311 points, I believe, maybe 12 after Christian's Tech fall, and everybody else not that. So, well done. Thank you, Mr. John Jarakitis. It's been a pleasure hosting you. Have a great Saturday.
Enjoyed it.
Online sports coverage of Lovett Athletics is brought to you by the Beery Cummings Group of Dorsey Austin Realtors, Fate Point Advisors, and by Montag Wealth Management.